there's a truth almost nobody talks about. A lot of men are lonely to the point of emotional exhaustion, but they still go to work every day. They still reply to texts like everything's fine. They still laugh when their friends make jokes. They still post stories online like life is going perfectly, and then night comes, and they lie alone in a dark room, staring at the city lights outside their window, feeling like nobody truly understands how tired they really are. Nobody asks if they're okay, because society keeps telling them men are supposed to be strong. And maybe that's why so many men are silently falling apart behind closed doors. Have you ever noticed something strange when a woman is hurting? People usually pay attention, but when a man feels lonely, most people just assume he's probably fine. Men are taught to hide their emotions from a very young age. Don't be weak. Don't cry. Man up. Be a man. And over time, a lot of men slowly forget how to talk about what they actually feel, so they stay quiet, and that silence lasts for years. There's a kind of loneliness almost nobody talks about. The loneliness of men. It isn't loud. It isn't dramatic. It doesn't look like crying or asking for help. It exists quietly, in moments where a man sits alone in a dark room at night, phone glowing in his hand, but having no idea who to text. According to recent psychological studies, modern men are experiencing loneliness at levels we've never seen before, especially men between the ages of 20 and 35. A lot of them don't have real close friends anymore. They don't have anyone they can truly open up to, and little by little they start losing emotional connection with themselves. But the scary part is, they still keep living like nothing's wrong. They still go to work, still joke around with co-workers, still post normal things online. Nobody realizes how emotionally exhausted they actually are inside. Some men work 10 hours a day, come home to a silent apartment, eat dinner alone, then open YouTube or TikTok just to hear another human voice in the background. Not because they truly care about the content, but because the silence feels unbearable. Psychology calls this emotional isolation. It's when you're surrounded by people, but still feel deeply alone. And men experience this more than most people realize. Because growing up, they were taught one thing over and over again. Men aren't supposed to be weak. So they learned how to stay silent even while falling apart. Over time, the brain starts protecting itself by numbing emotions. That's why a lot of modern men don't really feel joy anymore. They're not fully sad either, just empty. They live on autopilot. Wake up, go to work, feel exhausted, scroll on their phone until 2 a.m., sleep, repeat, and social media only makes it worse. Every short video, every notification, every scroll gives the brain another hit of dopamine, temporary stimulation that helps people escape what they're feeling inside. But dopamine doesn't heal loneliness. It only distracts you from it for a few minutes. And then night comes again, and all the emotions return. Maybe somewhere out there, there's a man listening to this right now in the dark, headphones on, tired eyes, phone glowing in the middle of a silent room, and maybe this is the first time in a long time he feels understood. There are men who haven't heard someone genuinely ask them, "Are you really okay?" in years. Not as small talk, but because someone truly wanted to know. And slowly, they got used to carrying everything alone. They didn't want to bother anyone, didn't want to look weak, didn't want to become an emotional burden. So they disappeared into themselves. Dopamine is one of the biggest reasons modern men feel emotionally empty. The human brain was never designed to handle endless stimulation every single day. But modern life surrounds men with constant dopamine, porn, TikTok, gaming, social media, notifications, validation online. Each one gives the brain another short burst of relief, And dopamine keeps whispering, just one more. One more video, one more game, one more scroll. But when the brain gets overstimulated for too long, it slowly loses the ability to enjoy real life. Simple things like a peaceful evening, a deep conversation, a hug, a genuine emotional connection start feeling not enough. That's why so many men today aren't really living. They're just constantly trying to escape the emptiness inside themselves. There's also another kind of loneliness men rarely talk about. A man can be surrounded by people and still feel emotionally disconnected from everyone. He has coworkers, friends, followers online. But when his mental health collapses, there's nobody he feels safe calling. Men often experience loneliness in silence. They don't easily open up, they don't know how to talk about emotions, and they hate admitting they're tired. So instead of saying, "I'm not okay," they just keep going to the gym alone, driving alone, eating alone, lying awake at 2 a.m., drowning in thoughts they never say out loud. And the scariest thing about loneliness is when you start believing, maybe life is just supposed to feel this way. Over time, many men stop feeling emotions clearly altogether. Not really sad, not really happy, just numb. And maybe that's why so many men stay awake until 3 in the morning. Not because they aren't tired, but because nighttime is the only moment they finally feel allowed to exist as themselves. No expectations, no pressure, nobody asking them to be strong, just silence, and all the thoughts they buried for years. There's another painful truth most men never admit. A lot of them don't actually believe they deserve love unless they're successful. Many men grow up believing their worth depends on money, achievement, strength, status, how useful they are to others. They were praised when they succeeded, respected when they performed well, loved when they were useful. And eventually, their brain develops a dangerous belief. If I fail, nobody will stay. Psychology calls this conditional attachment. It's when someone believes they can only be loved if they're good enough. So many men grow up terrified that the moment they become vulnerable, they'll become unwanted. That's why they hide their emotions. Not because they don't hurt, but because they're afraid their pain will disappoint people. So they pretend to be okay. They keep working until they burn out. Keep suffering in silence. Keep living like machines, while deep down, they just want someone to tell them, "You don't have to be strong all the time to deserve love." And maybe that's something many men have never truly heard in their entire lives. The saddest part is this: most men don't actually want to be emotionally invincible all the time. They just feel like they have no other choice. Because since childhood, they've been taught a man's value comes from achievement. Men shouldn't be weak. Men should endure pain quietly. Men should solve everything alone. So they learned how to stay silent even while breaking inside. And one day, they stopped knowing how to connect with themselves at all. They laugh less, talk less, feel less. Life becomes wake up, work, survive, sleep, repeat. But there's something you need to remember. Loneliness does not make you weak. Being emotionally exhausted does not make you less of a man. And needing love, comfort, connection, or someone to listen to you does not make you weak either. You are still human, and humans were never meant to survive without emotional connection. Maybe what many men are missing isn't money. Maybe it's someone who genuinely listens, a place where they feel emotionally so safe, a moment where they no longer have to pretend to be strong. If you're a man feeling lonely right now, please remember this. You are not strange. You are not broken. And you are not the only one feeling this way. There are millions of men silently fighting emotional emptiness every single day. People just don't talk about it. And maybe Healing doesn't begin with fixing your entire life overnight. Maybe healing begins the moment you finally admit, "I've been tired for a really long time," and that's okay. You don't have to be strong every second of your life. Sometimes, the bravest thing a man can do is be honest about his pain.